Yeah, it's true. I mean, you know, just going back also to what we were talking about before, I think if you talk to people when we were there in 2004 to what's going on right now, this upcoming summer, they were much happier with the stability at the time. So with the military presence and the foreign NGO presence, that did provide them with some stability. But I think, you know, now things are different. But back to your question about people's reaction to me, I think that was one of the most surprising things, because I just naively assumed that I was going to be accepted, and so they kind of looked at me as that I got the better end of the deal because I was able to leave shortly after the Soviet occupation. And so, you know, I was there until I was 10, but most of these people had spent their whole life under all the different regime changes and so many different, you know, between the Civil War and then the rise of the Taliban and this. And so they just kind of looked at me that, okay, so you're back, but you've had a much more privileged experience in the West, and we've really experienced the brunt of things.
You know, I was very surprised by how the Afghans on the street responded to Wazmah. I mean, there was definitely positive feedback, but then there was also like, is she Afghan? No, she can't be Afghan. There's no way she is. So it was really, you know, somewhat humorous at times when, you know, people would call her, like we say in the film, Sag Choi, and like dog washer, this idea that she has made it very well in America, but the reality our film touches upon is that her family did not go unscathed, and in fact, it devastated their family.
Now, finally, what has been sort of the responses to the film when you've shown them to Afghan audiences or mixed audiences? What sort of insights or reactions leap out to you from how people react to the movie?
Well, one thing that we just had our world premiere last Thursday, and so that was such a great experience because that was the first time we've been able to share the film. But what was so wonderful to hear at the end of the screening, and this was coming mostly from the American audiences, was that they'd never seen Afghanistan before war. The only images of Afghanistan are circulating are since '79, which was the official Soviet invasion, and then all the subsequent regime changes and the Taliban. So all they've seen is war. And our film, we were lucky to get Super 8 from different aunts and uncles that I have that had managed to smuggle them out.
Well, I was just really surprised too in that, you know, we found that the Afghan tourist organization, which is in the film, was still like not really functioning but semi-functioning. And I mean, we went there and it was empty, but this guy came down the stairs with brochures because we said, oh, is there a Kabul map? We want to find ourselves, you know, we want to find our way around the city. And he came downstairs with this map from 1974 and all these tourist destinations. And just to see how Afghanistan was presenting itself at that time when so many hippies and you know, travelers came through.
We want to wish you the best of luck and success with this movie. And tell us when the next screenings will be of it in the Tribeca Film Festival.
Our next screening is tonight at 7:30 in the Cinema Village in the East Village, New York. Yes, we have another one on Thursday, also at 7, and then we have 2 more over the weekends, both Saturday and Sunday.
Well, I want to thank you both, Wazmah, Osman, and Kelley Dolak, for joining us and talking about your film, Postcards from Tora Bora. Thank you so much for having the time to spend with us this morning.